I've started to dilate. My doctor really thinks that it's gonna happen soon. We did get some pretty disappointing news at the doctor's appointment though. Hello everybody, it's Delilah and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my 37-week pregnancy update. I'm going to sit here with me.
Baby?
Say hi.
Baby?
Yeah, we're going to talk about baby. You haven't been in my pregnancy updates for a little while. She's having a little bit of a rough morning. She might come and pop in a couple times throughout this video. But anyways, I'm here to talk about my 37-week pregnancy update. Lots has happened in the last couple of weeks. As usual. Yeah, let me just adjust the brightness for a second. I think that's better. I had my 37-week appointment yesterday and I've got kind of a lot to fill you in on based off of that appointment and just with the way I'm feeling, and with this being the home stretch, I really feel like this is going to be the last pregnancy update, but who knows. As usual, according to the Pregnancy Plus app, this is what baby looks like this week. You can hardly see it because it is big. It says your baby's skull is still soft to allow for the trip through your birth canal. Some of the tiny bones in your baby's body won't fuse together until after birth. You gonna come sit with me? No. At this point, your little one is ingesting a lot of amniotic fluid, which is resulting in the buildup of meconium, the first bowel movement that your baby will have after birth. Your baby's tiny fingernails continue to grow but are kept soft inside your uterus. Your baby is gaining about 1 ounce every day at this stage, and the lubricant that will keep the lungs from sticking together during breathing is being readily produced. 37 weeks. Basically, it is totally safe if baby decided to come today. We are in the home stretch. We are on baby watch. Any day now, baby could decide to come. I could go into labor at any minute, and it is a little bit nerve-wracking, especially the second time around. I am finding myself feeling a lot more anxious than before because before I didn't know what labor felt like. I was just really excited to meet my little baby, and of course I'm excited to meet this one as well, but this time I know that labor is no joke. It is intense, it is crazy, and with my history of fast labor, I'm a little bit worried. Getting into the symptoms that I've been feeling, basically the symptoms are just a whole bunch of different aches and pains that come along with being pretty much ready to pop. So the first thing is bruised ribs. There is always a foot on my right side. That's how it's been this entire pregnancy. Baby really favors the right side, kicks my right side all the time. There's always a foot there just like hanging out kind of around my ribs, especially now towards the end for the last few weeks. My ribs have felt quite bruised. Something that's kind of newer in the last week is that I am getting really swollen down there. Very swollen, and it's kind of making everything itchy and just sore, and I feel kind of bruised because of all the pressure that's been sitting down there for so long. Like, the baby is really low. It's been sitting there for quite some time, and so I am starting to feel the effects of that, and I'm feeling quite bruised and quite sore and swollen. The lightning crotch has been insane the last couple of weeks. Pretty much with every single step I take, I feel a little like shooting sharp pain. It's not like it's excruciating with every step I take, but it's there and it's painful and I notice it. Depending on how the baby is moving, like if the baby's kind of stretching around or wiggling its head, that's when I really feel the lightning crotch, and it hurts so bad. It can make it really painful to fall asleep because I generally feel it strongest in the evenings. Baby is more active in the evenings, and that's kind of, you know, towards the end of the day when I'm feeling my most uncomfortable and crampy. That is when baby likes to move the most, and that is when I'm feeling the lightning crotch and all the other aches and pains. Like I said, baby is really low. Baby's -1 station or -2 station, somewhere around there. So whenever I feel hiccups, I feel it throughout my entire belly, and I feel it right down in my butt. I don't know if I mentioned that in my last pregnancy update, but like I'm feeling hiccups in my butt, and it is the weirdest feeling, and I can actually feel the hands and like the baby moving around like in my butt. It's so weird. It's really weird. It kind of feels like there's just a bowling ball sitting between my legs, and often when I'm like walking around, it feels like as I'm walking, I'm squishing the baby's head with my bones. I mean, I know I'm not, I know the baby's fine, but it just kind of feels that way. Pretty strange feeling, especially if you've never felt it before. I've been craving lots of sweets recently. Towards the end of this pregnancy, I've definitely been craving a lot more sweets. For a while it was pineapple. Now it's kind of more so just anything cold and sweet. So anything kind of fruity, which is a little bit weird for me. I'm not normally like a fruity kind of person. I like the chocolates and peanut butters and fudge and coffee, like those kinds of flavors. But I've been craving fruity flavors lately, and like ice cold drinks and ice cold sweet drinks, root beer floats, things like that. Just things that are a little bit weird for me to crave. I have been feeling crampy off and on, especially if I'm moving around a lot or if I'm carrying heavy things. For a long time I wasn't doing like any of that. I was really trying to take it easy just to make sure baby would stay in there until it was safe. But now in this last week I've been moving around some more, doing more walking, and I can definitely tell that if I overexert myself I start to feel a bit crampy, which is, I'm hoping, a good sign. I'm hoping that it will put me into labor soon. I've been trying to do more walking around, like natural induction methods, I guess, like drinking red raspberry leaf tea, eating pineapple, moving around a lot, like going for walks, stuff like that. Nothing crazy. I haven't taken any evening primrose oil. I'm never going to do castor oil. That's something I'm just not gonna do. But just, you know, some natural, light induction things I've been trying to do to get my body moving closer towards labor. Sometimes it almost feels like I can actually feel my cervix stretching. I mentioned this in one of my day in the life vlogs, that I could actually feel it stretching, and it's really hard to explain the feeling. It's kind of like a sharp pain, but like it just feels like it's stretching. Like there's no other way for me to describe it, which is a very crazy feeling. I definitely didn't feel anything like this with Eloise. Like all these symptoms I'm kind of listing off, I didn't really feel, other than a bit of pressure and the lightning crotch. That I felt very strongly with Eloise, but all these other symptoms I didn't really feel. So it's really interesting to see how different my body is the second time around, and how I'm more in tune with it, and how I'm noticing more of these symptoms. I've been still dealing with morning sickness in the morning. I haven't had it really bad in the last couple of weeks, thank goodness. But I have definitely been feeling it, and I've just been really trying to prevent it by eating a ton of food in the morning. I try and eat a big breakfast, and then I'm snacking on trail mix throughout the morning, and I definitely think that's been helping a lot. Is just like eating the trail mix and making sure I'm having enough food in my stomach. But I also get hit with fatigue around that time too, and it's really hard to keep my eyes open sometimes, and it's tough to like keep my head clear and to do the things I need to be doing, especially if we're out and about and we're shopping or whatever. It's really hard for me to keep my focus. I've been having a lot of discharge. I've been having a lot of discharge throughout this entire pregnancy, but it's been especially strong in the past couple of weeks. And that is probably due to the fact that I am dilated. I've started to dilate. At my 36-week doctor's appointment, I was not dilated at all. My cervix was still closed. It was low and soft, but not dilated. Yesterday, when I went to my doctor's appointment, yesterday meaning Monday, I'm filming this on a Tuesday. When you see this, it'll be Thursday. Anyways, on Monday, I was 2 centimeters dilated, and my cervix is very soft. Baby is very low. Things are starting to move along, but my doctor did tell me that it could mean nothing. She had one lady who was 5 centimeters dilated and just stayed that way for a week before she went into labor. Especially with second, third, fourth pregnancies, dilating before going into labor doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's just 2 centimeters less that I have to go through during labor, I guess. But I'm hoping that it's a good sign. From being closed to being dilated 2 centimeters in a week, I feel like that's, you know, pretty good progress. So I'm hoping the baby will come sometime soon. Also at the doctor's appointment, I found out I gained 1 more pound since the last update. So I'm now sitting at a total of 21 pounds gained. The heartbeat was in the 130s. So like in between 130 and 140, in that range. And she said there's a good variation in the heartbeat, which is something that they look for, and it's really good. I apologize if you hear the coffee maker in the background. It's being a little bit noisy. At my 36-week appointment, I was tested for strep B, and that test came back negative. So I don't have that, which is great. It's just one less thing to worry about. My doctor really thinks that it's gonna happen soon. She's pretty much convinced I'm not gonna go full term, which is great to hear from my doctor because she's had lots of experience and she knows, you know, what she's talking about. She's seen a lot of pregnant women in her days, and she definitely thinks I'm gonna have this baby early. It's just a matter of when. We don't know. We did get some pretty disappointing news at the doctor's appointment though. We found out that my doctor's actually not going to be there for the birth, or most likely. She leaves for a conference on April 11th, so I think on the day that you're seeing this, she's gone. So if I haven't had the baby by then, I'm gonna be having the baby with a doctor that I don't even know, and that's really disappointing. I mean, I know it's kind of out of her control, and I mean, I can't get upset at her for that, but I'm really sad that she most likely won't be there because I really like my doctor and I feel like she really cares about me. And you know, she actually said that she is disappointed too. Like, she wants to be there to catch the baby. She wants to be the one to deliver the baby. It just doesn't sound like it's gonna work out that way unless I go into labor in the next couple of days. Who knows? But she set me up with another doctor that she trusts, which is good and reassuring, but still at the same time, you know, when I'm in labor and about to give birth, I don't want to have a random doctor that I don't even know deliver my baby. It'd just be so much more reassuring to see a familiar face, you know? So yeah, that is really frustrating and really disappointing. And even if I do have the baby before then, all of the newborn appointments are going to be with this other doctor that I've never seen before, so it's out of our control and I can't do anything about it. Something I've noticed this time around is I'm definitely not as eager to get the baby out as I was last pregnancy. With Eloise, once I hit 37 weeks, I was like working hard to get her out. Like, I was doing everything I possibly could, and I was just so eager to meet her. But this time around, I'm very eager to be done with this pregnancy, especially because this pregnancy has been a lot harder. I've had a lot more aches and pains just because this is the second pregnancy. It's harder on the body. Sleeping at night is really painful, like flip-flopping back and forth in bed and getting up in the morning to go to the bathroom, very painful. But at the same time, I'm not so super eager to get this baby out. I'm okay for the baby to come whenever it decides to come. It's probably just because I know how crazy labor is and I'm a little bit scared about it. You know, I'm pretty anxious about it, but so eager to know who this little human is and to know who's been growing inside my belly for the last 9 months and whether it's a boy or a girl. I'm excited. I'm really excited. Anyways, I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about, so I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna show you the belly. So this is the belly at 37 weeks. My doctor says she thinks my belly has changed a lot in the last week or so since she last saw me, but I mean, I don't notice it because I see my belly every single day. This is it. It's getting very big and I'm excited to have a small tummy again. That's everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really hope the next update is going to be a postpartum update. I really don't think I'm gonna make it to 39 weeks, but like I said, you just never know. If you want to follow along more closely and more personally on this journey, go follow me on Instagram. That's where I'm gonna be announcing the birth. That's where I'm gonna be, you know, just talking more in depth. It's just a bit more personal over on Instagram because I can post more frequently. It's a lot easier to post kind of in the moment rather than having to film and edit and upload. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys. Bye.